This video is sponsored by Guapkey. If you're looking for a reliable modded GTA account for PS4, Xbox One or PC, then this is the place to go. Their link is in the description below. Hey guys, how's it going? So I've got a really good money making method for you today. And with this method you can make around 15 mil every day, which is crazy. Obviously you do need to be playing the game pretty much all day, but if you use the same method and just do it for half the day, you'll still make like 7 mil in only about 5 or 6 hours of playing the game. So this method doesn't take all day to complete. It's basically just a repetition and grinding the same method, and if you do it pretty much all day, then you can make 15 mil a day from this method. But if you only do it for 4, 5, 6 hours a day, you can still make 7 or 8 mil probably in a day. Or if you were to play for like 12, 13, 14 hours a day, you could probably make about 17, 18 mil from this. So it does depend on how many hours in the day that you play it. And the way that I've based this off time-wise is, say you were to get on at about 9 in the morning and play through till about 12, and then stop between 12 and 1, get lunch, and then get back on from 1 till about 5, and then stop between 5 and 6 to get dinner, and then play again from 6 till about 10. So, you know, I have factored in breaks for eating and stuff like that. This isn't literally all day long without stopping that you need to do. So I have still deducted 2 hours total of the day for break time and eating and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just a very vague outline. You don't actually need to play for those times that I said. That's just a very rough template. So the amount of money you're going to be making per day is determined by how much time you spend on the game each day. But you can fairly easily make about 15 mil from this method in a day by playing the game for, in total, about 10 hours, which may seem like a lot to a lot of people, but to quite a lot of other people that might not even be that much, or that might be a kind of typical day. So obviously I can't tailor this to every single person's specific time that they spend on the game in a day, so I have just made it as rough as possible, but you can obviously apply it to yourself. So this method basically entails just grinding the KO Perica heist over and over again, but basically by just doing the minimum prep work and doing a really good method to complete the heist finale, which only takes about 10 minutes and involves doing it completely stealthily without getting detected. But as well, we're going to be filling up your businesses throughout the day while you're grinding this heist, so that part of it makes it a kind of all day kind of gig. So the very first thing you're going to want to do when you hop on is head to your arcade and go to the MCT if you have it. If you don't have the master control terminal, you're going to need to do it manually and drive around all your MC businesses and your bunker and buy full supplies for each. So obviously it's much easier using the MCT in your arcade, so if you've got the money to spend, I would recommend getting it, because it does make this a lot quicker and easier, and you're going to make that 1.7 mil back very quickly with this method. And also, if you're going to be grinding this method like pretty much every day, I would recommend setting your spawn location to your arcade as well, provided you have the personal quarters, because then you can just load into your arcade, instantly buy full supplies, and then crack on with the heist. Now as well, before starting this method, you want to make sure that your nightclub is set up properly, so you want to make sure that you've got all 5 levels of storage. If you've not, you can just go on the Foreclosures website and renovate your nightclub, and you want to make sure and add all 5 levels of storage. As well, you want to go on your computer in the nightclub and make sure you've got all 5 of the technicians, and make sure that they're all assigned to the top 5 most valuable products. This will maximize how much you earn from the nightclub, which will be filling up the whole time you're grinding the heist. So once you've bought full supplies for your bunker and all your MC businesses, you're going to want to disband your MC and go in as CEO. This will prevent you getting raided between heists. Next, you're going to want to go on the interaction menu and request your submarine. If you don't have the submarine, you can get it for around $2 million on Warstock. I'd also recommend buying the Sparrow as well. So that's going to cost you between 3 and 4 mil. Then request your Oppressor Mark II or your Sparrow and go to your submarine. You should always enter your submarine through this door here, as it will put you straight into the heist planning room. Now if you've never done the heist before, I recommend just playing it through normally, because it has more of a story element to it and it's different than the other times that you do it after. So if you've not played it before, just play through it the first time. Don't worry about this just now. Just complete it for the first time and then come back and do this method after that. So once you've completed the heist for the first time, you just want to set up the heist. Then you'll need to go to Polito Bay or Grapeseed or somewhere like that to steal a velum to use to get to the island. So once you've started the scope out mission, just head to this chair here, sit down in it, and then press X to fast travel, and then just scroll through the fast travel destinations until you find the one closest to where you need to go and fast travel to it. Then once you get to that location, head over and get in your Sparrow and exit the submarine, then fly to where it tells you to go, land, get out, kill all the people that are there, and then get in the plane and take off. And you'll always have quite a long flight at this point. You'll have to fly all the way to the city and right down to the docks, so this will generally take about 2 or 3 minutes to fly to where it tells you to go. But then once you get there, it'll just enter you into a cutscene, after which you'll be on the island. So you want to just run over here to the start of this road, and there'll be a dirt bike which you want to get on, and then just follow my route here. Then once you get to this point, you'll need to get past this security checkpoint. Obviously, you can't just drive through or you'll get seen. And if you ditch the bike and sneak in on foot, you'll have to run all the way to the control tower, which will take ages. So what you want to do here is just get a decent run up and build up a lot of speed, and then drive up this hill and pull off this jump that I do. This will get you past the checkpoint. But if you don't pull this off, just head back and try it again. And if you really can't do it, you'll have to just get off the bike and go through the checkpoint on foot and then run on foot to the control tower, which will take a good few minutes longer. So once you get past this checkpoint, you just want to drive to the control tower, avoiding all the guards. And once you get to the control tower, just head in and look for the control box. A lot of times it will be on the ground floor, but if it's not, you just want to head up the tower and look on each level until you find it. Then once you get to it, you'll need to hack into the security system. The hacking minigame seems pretty complicated, but it's actually fairly basic. The three symbols on the right will do the same to each number, so they'll either multiply the number by 1, 2, or 10. So a lot of times it is quite hard to figure out how to do it and what you're going to need to do, so a lot of times it does just require trial and error. So once you complete the hacking minigame and you're on the security camera feed, you need to scroll through the cameras until you find the basement one. Now you always want to scroll to the right because that's only about 3 cameras along, whereas if you go to the left you have to scroll through like 10 different cameras to get to it. So once you're on the basement camera, just pan the camera across to the left and there'll either be something in the glass cabinet or in the safe. So once you've scoped out the primary objective, you want to head back down the tower and go back to your bike. You then want to head to this location on the map. This is the main dock. You need to be careful not to get yourself detected along the way. Then once you get to the main dock, you just want to take a photo of it and send it to Pavel, and then it'll come up saying that you've scoped out the main dock. This is going to be your exit point. You then want to take one of the boats that's at this dock and use it to get to this location here. This is El Rubio's compound, and you want to drive to where I am now and then jump out, dive below the surface and find this drainage tunnel entrance here. This is going to be your infiltration and compound entry points. You just want to swim up to it and it'll come up saying that you've scoped out the drainage tunnel. Then after this, you just want to stay underwater until you drown, and then when you die, it'll spawn you back at the airstrip. Now, you don't need to do this every time, you only need to scope these out once, because once you've scoped out entry points and exit points, they will stay there. You don't have to re-scope them each time. Once you've scoped out an entry point, you can use it on every heist after that. You don't need to keep doing it every time you scope it out. And then every other time you do the heist after this, once you're up the control tower and you've found the main objective, you just want to climb off and kill yourself off the tower. And if the signal box was on the ground floor, just climb up the tower and then kill yourself off it. Getting caught or dying will spawn you back at the airstrip, which is where you want to be, and then just go up to the plane and press right to return to the mainland. So once you spawn back in on the mainland, your submarine will still be at the top of the map. So you just want to go on the interaction menu, go down to services, Kosaka, return options, and return your submarine to storage. And you need to wait 5 to 10 seconds and then request your submarine again. You then want to request your Sparrow or your Mark II oppressor and go back to your submarine when it spawns in. And then we're going to be getting on with the prep missions now. So the first prep mission you're going to want to do is go and approach vehicles and select Kosaka. This will mean you'll approach the island in your submarine, but you need to do a mission to steal a signal jammer. Now generally this mission will take place quite near the top of the map, so you want to head back to the chair and fast travel again to the nearest location to where it's telling you to go. So once you get there, just head over to your Sparrow. You want to press right to customize it and make sure you have homing missiles equipped, and then just set off from your submarine and head to the test site. You then want to use the homing missiles to take out the helicopter and the 3 boats that will be there. Once you've taken them all out, just fly quite close to the water and just jump out your helicopter and dive down and enter the submarine. Now you just want to fight your way through the submarine until you find the signal jammer. Once you find the signal jammer, just head back out the way you came and exit the submarine. You then want to start swimming up towards the surface and go in your interaction menu, go down to services, Kosaka, and request dinghy. Your dinghy will spawn pretty well right above you, so you just want to get in that and use that to drive back to your submarine. 2 buzzards will spawn and follow you the whole way back, but you don't need to worry about them, they don't really do anything. And once you get there, just jump out the boat and head into your submarine. Then head back to the touchscreen computer and you're going to want to go on equipment next. Now the top one, demolition charges, you never want to do this one. At the beginning it will say that it's mandatory, but it's not. Once you've done the cutting torch mission, the demolition charges one will say optional, because the demolition charges are used to get through locked gates and things like that. But you need the cutting torch anyway to get into the drainage tunnel, and you can use that to burn through locks and get through gates. So make sure not to do the demolition charges one, because you'll just be wasting your time. So you always need to do the fingerprint cloner and the cutting torch one, and the third one will either be the plasma cutter or the safe codes, depending on whether the primary objective is in the glass case or the safe. But you want to make sure never to do the demolition charges one. Now remember, you'll still be at the top of the map because you fast traveled there for the Kosaka prep mission. So you want to start one of the 3 prep missions. It doesn't really matter, all 3 of them are in the city. So you just want to start one of them and then go back to the chair and fast travel to the beach, I'd say is probably the best one. And then again, once you've fast traveled there and gone through the cutscene, just head to your Sparrow and take off. For the cutting cutting torch mission, you basically just have to go to a construction site. And it does tell you to take a hard hat so you'll blend in, but I recommend just killing everyone and taking it. So there'll be a bunch of toolboxes with a green arrow above them. You just want to go to all of them until you find the one that has the cutting torch in it. It's quite obvious, you can usually see it from a distance. There's bright blue sort of cutting torch in it. The other ones are all pretty much empty. So you just want to steal that and then head back to your Sparrow and go back to your submarine. Or get your oppressor and head back to your submarine, and then do the next equipment prep mission. So you'll notice now I've just completed the cutting torch mission. Now the demolition charges says optional because I can use the cutting torch to breach the gates that I would normally need the demolition charges for. And for the plasma cutter, you need to go to this safe house. There's not going to be anyone in there, but you need to find the heist planning board and take a photo of it and send it to Pavel, and then just head back to your Sparrow and go to the new location that it tells you to. I find the grenade launcher is usually the best way to go once you get there. I just shoot a bunch of grenades into the alleyway and that blows everybody up, and then you can just steal the plasma cutter and deliver it back to your submarine. And then just head back to the touchscreen computer and start the third of the equipment missions. Now for this part I always just go in guns blazing, and then just head to the laptop in the back, complete this little hacking minigame, and then exit the warehouse, and then head to the archive where it tells you to. And then with this one, just shoot the cameras out one by one and then head inside. And then you want to run all the way up to the back here, and it'll be at one of these desks. Once you get close to it, it'll show you where it is. So you just want to pick it up and then leave again, and then head back to your Sparrow and go back to your submarine. So that's all three of the equipment prep missions done now. Now all that's left to do is select your loadout. So for this one, you always want to use the conspirator one, which is the second one down here. You'll get the military rifle, which is definitely what you want as it's very accurate mid to long range. So for this, you'll either need to head to an office and kill a bunch of people and steal the guns from a weapon locker at the back of the office, or you'll need to head to the Merryweather dock and follow a Valkyrie to the location where the guns are. It'll often be at the power station, but you basically just want to kill everyone, head in the Avenger, kill the two guys that are in there, and then steal the guns. And then the Avenger will take off, so you need to take a parachute and exit. It tells you to do all this at the time, so it's fairly easy to get through it if you haven't done these before. Then afterwards you just go back to your Sparrow and head back to your submarine. So now it'll come up saying that you've done all the mandatory prep missions, so you just want to press RB twice to finale. You can't select your entry point and stuff here even though it looks like that. You just have to go over to the right and click start, and then click play, launch the job on your own, and now you can choose your entry point and all this lot. So for approach vehicle you want to choose Kosatka, that'll be the only option there anyway. For infiltration point you always want to select drainage tunnel. For compound entry point you also want to select drainage tunnel, and then escape point you want to select main dock. In time of day I'd always recommend setting that to day. Then you want to go on weapon loadout and make sure you buy and equip suppressors. Then once you've done all that, just click continue and then ready to play. So you'll start off swimming here. You just want to swim over to the yellow marker ahead of you. Now once you get to the grate at the start of the drainage tunnel, just hold RT and use the cutting torch to cut round until all the bars go from green to orange. And then you'll push the grate off and you can swim in. So you just want to swim through the tunnel till you get to the end, and then just press right on the D-pad to select this entry point. And once you get past the cutscene, just equip the military rifle, and every time you do it you want to follow this exact path that I take and kill everyone I kill. You want to make sure to shoot pretty much everybody in the head and just don't miss, because if you miss a shot and it hits a wall behind them, it'll often get you detected. So just shoot this guy in the head and then just head over through here to the left. You want to wait around here and shoot this guy in the head. He'll be walking towards you coming from down there, and then just head down this way down here. This guy can be quite tricky to take out. I usually wait until he's walking away at this point. You want to make sure he's out of sight of the camera, because if you kill him while he's in the camera's blue cone, then it'll get seen on the camera and you'll get detected. So just shoot him in the head and then head up to these stairs here. Just want to shoot the camera from underneath like this.
They will know every soldier on the island. Them you cannot fool, no matter what you are wearing.
And there's an enemy in here. I recommend killing him because he doesn't stay there. He will often walk back out again and he might be a problem for you on the way out. And then just head down here, shoot this guy in the back of the head, and then head up these stairs. Then once you get here, there'll be a guy walking towards you. You don't need to line up a perfect headshot with him. I usually just massacre him. And then head in here, head over to this safe in the back corner of the room. There'll be anywhere between 50 and 100 grand in here. And if there's a painting here, go up to it and cut it out and steal it. There's also sometimes a painting at the diagonally opposite corner of the room, which I didn't show here. Once you've done that, just head to the elevator and complete the hacking minigame to replicate the fingerprint and get access to the elevator. Once you've done that, just head in and press right, and then go to this gate at the end and press right. You can use the cutting torch to get through the lock. This is normally what you'd need the demolition charges for. And then if the primary objective is in this glass case, just go up to it and press right and use the plasma cutter to get into it. Or if the main objective is in the safe, then you just need to enter the safe code, which Pavel will text you. Once you've got the main objective, just head back the way you came, back into the elevator and back to the main room, and then just go right back down the stairs back the way you came, climb over this little wall at the end, and then up these stairs on the left. Now you need to watch out because often there will be a guard walking towards you. If you need to kill him, make sure he's out of sight of this other guy. If he's not around, then just shoot this guy in the head and then go to the yellow marker and then press right. You'll enter a little cutscene and then you'll be outside the compound. Now you want to head over here and shoot this guy in the head, then go up to this guy. I recommend try and get reasonably close to him because it just lowers your chances of missing. Just be careful not to enter any of the blue cones of sight. Then head up to these two and shoot one in the head and then quickly get the other one right after, and then take this camera out. Then you want to get on this bike and drive away and follow my exact route. You just want to head off to the right here just before this turn and then head through the grass. I'd recommend driving quite slowly because there's quite a lot of bushes and trees. If you crash into them, you'll fall off. Then you want to head down to where I am now, get off your bike and head over here. You want to take this guard out, shoot him in the head, and then there's a camera just above him which you also want to take out, and then head into this shack and go right to the end, and there will be additional loot in here. You can use the cutting torch again to get through this lock. Now if you already stole the painting, that will take up half of your loot bag space, and if there's 2 piles of loot in here like there is now, then this will do it. If there wasn't a painting and if there's 2 piles in here, that should get you full, I think, or maybe just less than full, but obviously you want to take everything you can. You need to get your loot bag completely full. So for me, I was full here and I couldn't even fit all this loot in because of the painting, but often there will only be 1 pile of loot in there, so you should still have loot bag space at this point. So you want to head up to the end here and take this guy out, because otherwise you'd need to drive right past him in the boat and he would see you on your way out. You want to then head down here and take this guy out, making sure each kill is just 1 bullet in the head, and then head down here and take this guy out, but make sure he's not in anybody else's cone of sight, and then head down and take this other guy out. Now you're good to head over here and breach this gate. Don't worry, nobody else will see you. Now get in here and there'll probably be additional loot in here. And after doing that, your loot bag should be full. Sometimes you'll get really unlucky and there'll be like no loot in here and only 1 in the other one, so you might still have loot bag space, but it's up to you. If you want to stealthily go and find other loot elsewhere and get your bag full and then come back to the main dock, you can, but for the sake of simplicity, I would probably recommend to just leave. But 9 times out of 10, your loot bag will be full after this. So then you want to head down here and there's 2 guards, one right behind the other. You need to be pretty careful with this bit, but you can quite easily shoot them both in the head and then just take this boat and leave. You need to be careful on the way out of guard boats that you don't get seen, and then after that you just drive out into the sea until it finishes. So for this you'll usually get anywhere between 1.3 and 1.6 mil. If you complete the elite challenge, you get an extra 100k, which I definitely recommend going for if you can. So to pass the elite challenge, you need to have completed the finale in less than 15 minutes, which is very easy. Normally this takes 9 or 10 minutes for me. You need to not fail any of the hacks, and you need to have filled your loot bag completely full. And obviously you can't fail, otherwise you won't get the elite challenge. If you do get detected, just use a sticky bomb to blow yourself up and restart it. You won't get the elite challenge, but if you've been detected, you were never going to get it anyway. So yeah, most times you will get the elite challenge, and you should walk out with about 1.4, 1.5 mil. Now generally it takes around an hour to complete all of this, to complete the submarine prep mission, the 3 equipment ones, and the weapon loadout one. There's 5 prep missions total, as well as the scope mission and the finale. All that usually takes about an hour, give or take 5 or 10 minutes. Now once you've completed the heist, it'll be about 5 or 10 minutes before it becomes available again. And then once the heist becomes available again, if you start it up within 48 minutes, hard mode will be active. It'll come up in the bottom right corner on the touchscreen computer saying hard mode active. This basically means that you get 100k more for the primary objective, but you'll need to complete 4 fingerprint clones rather than 3 to get access to the elevator. So hard mode will be active pretty much every time if you're grinding this repeatedly. So yeah, once you're back in free mode, just request your sparrow or your oppressor and head back to your submarine and just wait out the 5 minutes until you can do the heist again, and then just set it up and repeat all of that. Now once you've completed the heist for the 3rd time in a row, your supplies for your bunker and your MC businesses will probably have all been used up. So during this 5 or 10 minutes before you can do the heist again, you want to head back to your arcade and buy more supplies. Now you will need to leave your CEO and register as an MC president to buy your supplies, so you may get raided in this time and that'll take an extra 5 or 10 minutes, but there's not much you can do about that. So just leave your CEO, go in an MC president, go to your MCT and buy full supplies for your bunker and all of your MC businesses. And once you've bought all the supplies, this would probably be the time that I'd get lunch and have a bit of a break. So once you've bought all your supplies, just disband your MC and go to the big TV in the arcade, and then sit down and press right to watch the TV. If you didn't know, watching TV prevents getting you kicked from a game. You can do this in an apartment, office, clubhouse, pretty pretty much anything, but if you're already in your arcade, you may as well just do it here. And you can turn the controller off so your batteries won't run down. And then obviously you can do this for as long as you want. You can do it for hours if you want, and you won't be kicked. This will just ensure that your nightclub, your bunker, and your businesses will still be filling up. And then once you're back, just continue with the heist and just play it another 4 or 5 times. And then at this point, I'd be going off and getting dinner and having a break. But then obviously before that, you want to buy supplies again. So once you finish the heist, just head back to your arcade and buy full bunker supplies and full supplies for all your MC businesses again. And then go back to your arcade TV again and just do the same thing. Just go on that, turn your controller off so you won't be kicked. And then once you get back, you can play the heist 1 or 2 more times. And then it'll be time to sell your businesses. At this point, if you've been on pretty much all day, your businesses will be full by now. As long as you've been buying supplies after every 2 or 3 heists. So yeah, at this point, your businesses will be full. Your bunker probably won't. That takes a lot longer to fill up. So if you're grinding this method every day, I'd say you'd be alternating and selling your bunker every other day. Because I think the bunker takes about 12 hours total to fill up. So I don't think you'd be able to sell your bunker every single day. I'd say you'll be selling the bunker every other day. So yeah, at the end of the day, you want to go on a big selling spree, invite 2 or 3 of your friends into the game if you can, and then just sell all your businesses one by one. If you don't have any friends who can help you sell, then just leave a comment. You can arrange between yourselves helping each other sell. Now, I did 525k to the daily total that you'll be making, because that's half of what you get for the bunker, and if you're selling it every other day, it basically equates to half a day. So you want to sell your bunker every other day and your businesses every day. You also want to sell your nightclub every single day. You want to do that after you've done your MC businesses, so it'll be worth a little bit more. And at this point, if you've been on pretty much all day, I'd say your nightclub would be worth at least 2, 3 or 400k. So once you've completed all your sales, that's pretty much it. You may not be making 15 mil every day, it just depends how long it takes you to do the heist. Especially at the start, you might be a bit unfamiliar and slow with the heist, so it might take about an hour and a half maybe each time in total with all the prep missions and stuff. But once you've done it a good few times, you'll be used to all the prep missions and the finale, and you'll be able to laser through it really quickly. And if you're really good at this and spend loads of time on the game, you could easily make 16 or 17 mil, I'd say, every day. Or if you're not on as much, it might be more like 10 or 11 mil, but still, making 10 or 11 mil in a day is really good. But yeah, like I said at the start, it entirely depends on how much time you spend on the game throughout the day. So it does just depend on how much time you put into it. Like I said, a lot of people are not going to have the time or desire to sit on the game all day grinding the same heist. A lot of people would find that very repetitive and boring, but still, if you want to make 15 mil a day, you gotta put the work in. So yeah, that's it for this video today, guys. Let me know how you get on with this method, and let me know how much money you're able to make every day. I hope this video helped you out. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you, don't forget to leave a like. That would really help me out in return. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already for regular GTA content, and have a great day.